Can't forget my furry friends. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update for my furries for hires. Now, there are some cards that I don't have anymore that I used to have on my other profiles, which was the playset of Phantasmes. Yeah, those are gone. And I've also made some recent changes just to adapt to the format, and it's 40 cards, which is not my usual thing. But with this deck, I was learning more and more, like if I don't open a certain amount of for hires, it's really troublesome. And the other build was okay because it was like Falgo Turbo, where I could open like one for hire and a bunch of other random extender monsters and still make Falgo and go off. But yeah, I don't have any of those, and Pankratops is at 1 now, and there's no Phantasme, so it was like 6 monsters that will put extra bodies with different types that I couldn't use to turbo into Falgo. So kind of had to just like adapt to that, in addition to adjusting my list for the format. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the main deck. Before I do, just check the link description box below. You'll learn in many ways that you can support my channel. If you would like to support my channel, I'll greatly appreciate that. I also have Team Kings of Games t-shirts for 25 bucks a piece in medium size and large size. But with that out the way, let's go ahead and hop into the list. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of Beat, the Blazeman for Hire. This card's incredible, honestly. He's a standalone, beats the man. If you open him, like in the other list, if you open him with the random extenders, you would still be able to combo off, which was really nice. But he allows you to just basically replenish one resource. So you're not actually vomiting your entire hand out in one turn. That's the unfortunate thing with for hires, is their summoning mechanic is like weird. It's literally from the hand. Like they just keep specialing from the hand over and over and over. Some cards replace themselves, some don't. So you end up taking a lot of inherent neg ones just to spam the board and lose to Nibiru sometimes. So it's kind of unfortunate, but it's how the deck functions. So you have to really play around the weaknesses of the deck. And, you know, there's mitigations available that are pretty generic, that are like, you know, splashable cards. But some cards are just unavoidable. What Beat does really help you to just keep your hand size and maintain advantage. And also, he's a warrior. Keep in mind, the type matters. I play triple Dampa and triple Recon. These are the for hires that I play at 3 in my list, because I play going second for hires. If you guys didn't know, all my for hire lists are for going second, because this deck going first doesn't do as good and it doesn't perform as well, and also that extra card going second really matters. Going first, this deck can only put up 2 interruptions consistently. You can make generic links and stuff like that, but for the art type specific kind of things, you can only put up Rafale with Wiz if you open up correctly, and if not, you'll make just like random link monsters that don't do too much, like IP Masquerena set up for like Avermax or Oppo is like the best you might get. But honestly, going second, it's a lot better. So these are cards you want to max out on, because they are spot removal for face ups and face downs, and they're gonna bait interruptions for you, which is really incredible. And then we have 2 copies of Seal. Seal's a little bit better than Helmer. Honestly, I don't like Helmer in this list, just because anytime I would have a for hire card that I would discard for him, I'd rather special summon it. He's only really good when you open extra names of the same one, because you can't use their effects like to spam out more than once per turn, because they'll literally say all the bottom of their effects you can only use it once per turn. So he helps with just ditching extra names that you can't use. So he just like unclogs your hand in that regard. But really, most of the time when you have for hires, you'd rather special summon him, and that's how it is. So I don't really use his effect as much as the pen and paper seems like he would, because you're like, oh, you let you draw cards, it seems good. But Seal, I use him a lot. I use him to recycle Falgo to just keep my resources in tandem, and I also use him to recycle Philo, and Philo to recycle Seal. So it's like how you can keep your grind game going, so you're not running out of furries for hires. And then we have 1 copy of Bravo. Probably the worst one in my opinion. All he does is just boost your guys. You can OTK with them, but I really don't like drawing into like multiple Bravos, and even at that, sometimes I don't even use them. Like all of them have a once per turn, so you have to use every name, different names to keep extending, but he's like literally the worst name. I don't really like him that much. And for the cards that you want to end on, meaning not always like end on going first, but the cards that don't let you keep extending, I play 2 Rafale and 1 Wiz. These cards do not have the same clause of the fires where you can special one from your hand. But they do trigger on summon. Wiz lets you gain life points. Rafale lets you basically Pot of Duality without having a restriction of special summoning or not, and you can add any card from the top of your deck. So Rafale is pretty nuts going second under Dark Ruler No More, because you can potentially RNG into a Super Poly, which could be incredible to just break a board. Wiz is good in time, and also it lets you negate spells or traps. Rafale lets you negate monster effects. So if you go first, these are your archetype specific negators. And when you go second, you also still use these to pick boards apart. And then I play some Kaijus. These are the only Kaijus that I really have that I could find. I played 2 Jizakura and 1 Gamma Seal. I would definitely play different Kaijus if I had different Kaijus. This is just what I got. If you open multiples, what's really cool is that you can actually special summon them to make the fall go. Especially because this is a machine and there's no machine type for hires. You can special anything off fall go at that point if you use certain materials. And then I play 1 Pinkertops because you know he's at 1. But this is still a going second deck and he baits multiple interruptions by himself. The deck's normal summon is its choke point, so you really want to try to clear that. So Pankratops is a good way to deal with interruptions that would kill your normal summon. And then I do play 1 Apex Avian. For when you do go first, you basically want to, your ideal board, you want to make Rafale with Wiz and the Samorlink to special summon Avian. Now, if you don't get Ash Blossomed or Nibiru, you can easily do that because his deck spams so much. And the Philo is the winged beast that lets you make the Samorg Link in the first place, and that's like one of your ideal boards if you do go first. So he's the main reason why. That's the main reason why I play this, so that this deck can still have a better going first game. You can't really do like infinite negates, so to speak. It's possible, but it's not like it's not feasible really. Like it sounds like it's really good, but what you have to do to get there, you might as well just vomit out your whole hand and hope that your opponent doesn't have anything to attack over the baby Thunderbird, because you can't make Avermax plus the infinite negates. This deck just can't really do that. It's very difficult. For the spells, we play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. +1's necessary in this deck, especially if it's baiting an Ash Blossom or you know any negation going second. It's just a really good standalone card. And going first, your hand size really matters because your special summoning happens for the hand, so you need a +1 like that. To make sure my normal summon goes through, I played 3 Called Bys and 3 Ceruvis. To stop Imperm, this is to stop Effect Veiler, Ghost Lurker, you know, Ash Blossom when it's really pivotal. DD Crow really doesn't hurt this deck that much unless it's like literally you're desperate and Philo only has like 1 way to resolve. But other than that, you're really just trying to make sure your normal summon goes through. So Effect Veiler and Imperm can stop this deck's turn. This stops Veiler, this stops Imperm. These also can negate other targeting effects like Forbidden Chalice, you know, etc. But really, they're to make sure your normal summon goes through going first. And going second, these have so many applications. And for more going second cards, I play 3 Super Polys, 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. In this deck, Dark Ruler No More is really important because to start your combo up is very fragile. Once you get into your combo, it's not that hard. But the starting point is your normal summon. So because there are so many interruptions that a deck can have, sometimes like an Effect Veil, sometimes a Ceruvis or a Call by the Grave is just not enough. Also, oftentimes, Pot of Desires can only bait, you know, 1 interruption. So you just really need to clear the board first before you commit to your normal. And even if you can't OTK, you can resolve Foggle and draw 3 cards, which is incredible. And then I play 3 copies of Evenly Matched because I don't care too much for OTKing this format. There's too many powerful cards like Winda, Mechaba. You know, you can name so many different boards that combo decks are making. You know, it's just really ridiculous and out of control. So you kind of need cards like these. You can RNG into them off of Folgo and off of Rafale if you didn't draw them for turn. For the extra deck, which is very flexible with this deck, it's pretty free. You can Skull Dread spam if you want, but I'd rather end on links that do something. So first, the MVP of the extra deck is Folgo. Even under like Dark Ruler No More, as long as you destroy a card, you can trigger this to draw 3. Dampa and Recon can help you to do that as well. If you play Mayhem for Hire, which I don't have any copies, I have 0, that's why I don't play it. Otherwise, I play 2 of them at least. When you go first, you can summon this and trigger its effect on your opponent's turn to draw 3, which is nice. But Fall Go is MVP because it's an extender and it's a recovery play. It lets you fill your hand back up. I really like Armiddle in this deck. It's crazy good, honestly. Like, it's a good extender. It's a way where you can actually push and get to like a Borosword or a Appaloosa under pressure. It's a nice card. And then I play all the Nightmares that are for going second. Phoenix, Cerberus, and this is my Unicorn that I don't have. And then for link 3s, Trish Bana, so I can clear entire back rows. It's really easy to link climb. Once you get started with for hires, they spam a lot, but it's just making sure your normal summon gets through. The Samorg is incredible. You can summon either Philo or the Avion, but in this deck, just the fact that you can make this, it helps you to get another layer of negation so that you can actually have a going first play. We have Borolo to clear cards that can't be targeted or destroyed. Borosword, you can easily summon this and kill your opponent. Zeraboros is for when you are under Dark Ruler No More. Not under, but you put your opponent under Dark Ruler No More, and Unchained Abomination just can't do it for you. You Dark Ruler them and banish their entire board, and that's going to basically just clean it up for them. Clean it up for you, and even though you couldn't OTK them, the fact is you broke their entire board, and you can still end on negations after that. Luckily, this card clears itself from the field so that you can summon and, you know, do link zones and all that. Abomination is just another alternative like Zeraboros. So when you Dark Ruler No More your opponent, you can break their board. Appaloosa, so that you can actually end on something going second, so that if you couldn't OTK them, like if you Dark Rulered or evenly them, you know, you could still end on something to interrupt them. I play the 5-handed Link Dragon because what's really cool with this deck is not only can it spam and easily put out 5 monsters on the board, but look at your attributes. So you have Light, Wind, Dark, Earth, Water, Fire. You have every attribute in this deck. So not only can you easily make this card, but you can also easily make it with every attribute, which means going second, you just kill people. And it's unaffected by everything, and it can't be destroyed by battle. So it's like, it's a really, really prominent card. And these are the super poly targets. This deck doesn't have like real combos. It's a very like RNG related deck. Like it's based on what you draw, and you normally want to make Falgo to turbo into things, but sometimes you can't just make Falgo first because like sometimes you need something like to co-link, for example, and Falgo can't be used as link material, so you wouldn't really be able to co-link easily. But honestly, the goal going second is to bait as many interruptions as you can before you make Falgo. Make Falgo, and you'll be able to do a lot of things after that. So Falgo's kind of like the main link monster of this deck. It's how this deck is going to thrive going second. But like I said, sometimes you can't make Falgo first. You can still make him under other link monsters, but making him first will really cripple you because you can't link with him, and that's the only unfortunate drawback of him. But yeah, this is a pretty clean list for me. I like it how it functions, and just playing it at exactly 40 really helps me. Certain ratios you can change, like you can play like 1 Rafale, but I play 2 just in case for Desires. And Desires isn't necessary, but honestly, with Sekka's Light being at 1, I really didn't want to play it anymore. I used to play a Monster Mash list with 3 Sekka's Light and like a bunch of monsters, but yeah, with Sekka's going to 1, I really changed it. And honestly, these are necessary meta calls because like Shadalls and Salamangreats, for example, and you know, Rockets, these can clap any of those decks, and that's what you needed to do because like just Heretic Seal alone can end your turn, just bouncing your stuff. So yeah, it's really important to get those cards out of the way. Pinker tops. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. I got more deck profiles for you guys. I'm going to say a quick prayer. If you don't like the prayer, just skip the video or skip this part of the video. About our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Yahweh. Amen. And deuces is wild, y'all.